I'm gonna knock Andy. Andy said, no, I'm gonna come in shape and I'm do my best. I'm knocking him the out. I want to punish him. I'm gonna beat him into the ground.
Final 30 seconds, right hand, down he goes.
And no matter what Andy does, man, I gotta answer for his ass. Andy doesn't do good against taller opponents. He doesn't do good against the guys that move well, throw a lot of punches, come aggression. I don't win close fights. I beat guys up, I knock them out, I just demolish them. And that's what we're gonna do with Andy. Now it's my turn to come back to the top. I'm an aggressive fighter. I got very good head movement. I come forward and I wanna bang and I wanna get guys out of there. You know, once I take my shirt off and they see the old baby's back, they're gonna be, oh, big baby didn't come to play.
All right, everybody, welcome on back. We're back with DAZN, and we're about to talk about a wonderful card that's going down on August 3rd out in LA. Headlined by Terrence Crawford, and everyone's going to be talking about that. But one of the most intriguing parts about that card for me, and I love heavyweights, I am a heavyweight, is the Jarrell Miller versus Andy Ruiz fight. I'm here with Jarrell Miller right now. We're sitting down in Bosie's Gym, the Dungeon in Philadelphia. And most importantly, it's the first time I'm sitting down with my man Jarrell Miller. Jarrell, how are you, my man?
I'm alive, man.
Yeah?
So can't complain.
Where do you rank this fight versus Andy Ruiz as far as in terms of difficulty? Is this the most difficult fight that you've ever been in?
I mean, every fight is the most difficult. You know what I mean? You might look at the opponent, maybe he's not as strong as Dubois or a power puncher like Dubois, but every fight is difficult than the next one. You know what I mean? So, I mean, for me, it's the most difficult fight in my career because this is the next fight that's in front of me, and it's either make you or break you. You know, he took an opportunity that I lost, and he made millions with it. Now it's my turn to come back to the top of the throne and reclaim what's what's mine. You know, if you go by statistically wise, style wise, Andy doesn't do good against taller opponents. He doesn't do good against the guys that move well, throw a lot of punches, come aggression. You know what I mean? He fought, you know, Ortiz, who's really 48 years old probably.
Nobody knows.
And you know, nobody,
148,
you know,
nobody knows,
48.
Right? Yeah.
You know, he got a close decision win against him. You know, couldn't put him away. And he fought Ariel, who's 42. Close decision win. These guys I was knocked out. I walk them down and beat them up when I'm in tip-top shape. So the main thing was me is coming to top shape. I don't win close fights. I beat guys up, I knock them out, or I just demolish them. And that's what we're gonna do with Andy. You know what I mean? When you, stylistically, I'm a come forward fight, but I'm an aggressive fighter. I got very good head movement. I come forward and I wanna bang and I wanna get guys out of there.
How do you feel this camp is going, first of all? Explain to me about the transformation that's happened in your body. Explain to me how much Sosa has to do with it.
I mean, everything was just had to be a 360 turnaround. You know what I mean? Going back to watching old film of how I've, you know, performed in previous fights compared to how my last fight was. You know, preparation was everything. The mental mind state was everything. You know, we dropped 40 pounds for this fight. You know what I mean? The main thing was just putting myself through hell. But like I said before, just the mindset had to be totally different. That, you know, what I did before in the past worked, but coming up to the last fight with Dubois and Lucas Brown,
right,
didn't work. You know, even though we did get the Lucas Brown win, Dubois fight was too short notice. I had to get to camp, I had to get away, I had to get out of my comfort zone. You know, and, you know, being in Philly, you know, the city of brotherly love, man, it was just different. You know, I just needed somewhere that's gonna challenge me, you know, and coming down here with, you know, with Boots and his dad, Bozy, and down here in Philly was just it's a mindset. You know, it's a doghouse. Got my head trainer, that's supposed to come down, you know, finally retired, you know, him on my neck, my boy Mike on my neck. You know, if it wasn't for Mike, I don't know if I lost the weight so quick too.
Really?
You know, you guys don't know about Mike yet, but you're gonna definitely see him more on the cameras, you know what I mean? I mean, he was like my babysitter, my nutritionist, the cook, you know, did the laundry. I mean, Mike was my right-hand guy in this camp, man. He was on me to say, eat the meals. Don't eat chips and cheeseburgers, you know, so the weight just started melting off. But like I said, the main thing was just the mindset, changing where you need to be at, and just putting in the work like I always do, man.
Styles make fights. We talk about that all the time. We kind of talked about the style that Andy has versus the style that you have. Is there a stylistic fighter out there that's just a Jarrell Miller killer? Like, is there somebody that
My
you're
style.
like, oh, is that it? Just
Me versus me.
Yeah, is that it? Like,
Me
to see
versus
somebody?
me. Because I think styles do make fights, but I think it's the mentality that really is like, if I run somebody my kind of mentality, hey, it's gonna be a long and crazy night. Because a lot of guys can box, a lot of guys can thump, but very few guys can thump, box, and have that mental mind state. I got everything, you know what I mean? And that's the main thing, is sharpening and keeping those tools sharp in the box. So I feel like my biggest opponent is myself, and we've seen that with the Dubois fight. Dubois didn't beat me. You know, you watch the fight, whooping his just ran out of gas. You know, mentally just clocked out in that 5th or 6th round. Me beating me is my worst opponent, and that's the main thing.
Seems, honest to God, it's nice to see you in a perfect headspace like this. Right, this young lady had mentioned coming in that this is Jarrell Miller that we haven't seen in years, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you stepping into the ring. Do you have a leg up with your background as far as that goes?
Most definitely. I think the mental mind state, because I knew that for some reason I had a dream, and God just played, son, you're gonna make it, but it's gonna be a long and tough journey. And I remember dreaming that I was a kid, and I'm like, let's just do this damn thing. And I never turned back ever since. And years later now, it's like it's been a long and tough journey. And I believe the martial arts mentalities, you kind of like have a knapsack, you got some slippers on and your gi, and you just walk into this woods and you continue on your path and your journey. It's kind of like Moses and God at the same time, right? And Jesus, like you kind of just going on this path of like, where it's going to take you, but God got your back, but you got to keep walking in faith. And that's kind of been what it's been as a martial artist mentally, and I've transitioned into boxing. A lot of guys that I started off boxing and kickboxing have retired, either left, been knocked off, don't have the mental mindset to compete in the sport or even in life in general. So I kind of took that mindset from martial arts saying, you know what? You're not always going to have the best day, but continue, keep striving and going forward and be a fucking warrior.
I don't know if I like the new spiritual Jarrell Miller.
It's always been there.
It's always been there. It's always been a little bit more hidden.
Yes, it's always been there. Always been spiritual, man. Like I said before, people always talk to me, so they never see the side of me. You know what I mean? So, right. I'm very articulate when I can talk, but, once you sign a contract, I'm open your.
I know when when I first started writing about you, I think you had sent some flowers up to Deontay when he had his first kid, which was a diabolical move. And then you were inside the press conference with Anthony Joshua. I'm going to read it. Listen, AJ, you sweet and low cotton candy, applejack, apple juice, pansy, thong-wearing sucker. You're lucky Eddie Hearn was between me and you, or I would have busted ass, but I got a date with your mom anyway. That's some diabolical. But I love it. Like, that's what we need to kind of get these going.
Yeah.
So you kind of had your moment with Dante. You kind of had your moment with AJ. Yeah. Is there anybody in Andy's family you want to with? Is there a cousin who can get these hands? A female cousin who can get these nuts? Like, what's up?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't.
No?
Honestly, like I said before, those things, when I say them,
yes.
I really kind of mean it. I don't like those guys. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, Andy, it's hard for me to go outside of boxing and say something funny or disrespectful, even kind of catching, because we don't have that kind of relationship. So by him making mistakes and going on Instagram, putting Taco Bells up and burritos and swallowing a hot dog, he's like giving me ammunition, right?
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's like, that's what I can really kind of go off of. Plus, he made all the money with AJ, so now I really got him up and get that money back.
So is that why there's no animosity with you guys? Because you have that history?
Yeah, that's kind of what it is. Like I said, fighting is one of them type of things where you have to sometimes you got to create that beef. Like I have to go in my mind, in the back of my mind, and kind of create like this storyline where reason why I got to whoop you. Reason why you're evil to me. And I didn't have it at first, but now it's like, okay, he got the AJ opportunity, I'm going to up because I whoop his ass, I get the AJ fight back, or he's eating a hot dog. So this whole entire camp was really kind of mentally building up that war, building up that gas tank, the reason why I gotta hate him right now. The thing is about it, like I said with boxing, is you cannot be civilized in boxing. Outside of the ring, you have to. I found, like I said, boxing is the easy part, man. Getting training and fighting is easy. I've been doing this since I was 14. It's the easiest part. Dealing with the managers, dealing with promoters, dealing with the outside distractions, that's the hard part, and finding faith and being closer to God and kind of like, blocking those distractions out is the hardest part. And that's why I needed to kind of refocus myself on the boxing game. And once you get that stuff out of the way, boxing is easy. Come in the gym every day and training, this is easy. It's simple. You have a regimen. You have a design plan to come here, train, eat well, beat people up, spar, and go to the fight.
I'm going to call right now. Boxing's easy when you're 6'4" and a 290-pound monster. It's not so easy when you're built like me. But no, I hear what you're saying. Seeing the way that you're preparing for this fight has been more than impressive. Yeah. So I'm by no means saying that you're looking past this. I want to look past this fight. So you go in there and you knock this guy out because you don't want to leave it into the hands of the judges, particularly on the West Coast.
Correct.
What's the next step? Like, where's the trajectory now?
Yeah, I would definitely love the Dubois rematch, but of course he has AJ coming up. If Anderson gets past his opponent, which I don't think he will, I like the Anderson, battles of the big baby, because his nickname is really the Crier Baby. Right. It's a couple 1 or 2 fights we can definitely keep us busy before we get a title shot. But like I said, I really want a Dubois AJ fight or possibly the Anderson fight. I mean, that's really about it, really.
Will you insist on having the next fight maybe in New York? Maybe get.
I
To
mean,
see
I would
you
love to.
downtown?
I mean, I would love to. You know what I mean? Turkish out here is the brother right there. He's a big fan of mine, and he's giving me enough inspirational words to continue to get in shape and do the right thing. That he had many opportunities available for me in the future after I smoke Andy. So the main thing is I'm gonna knock Andy. Andy said, "No, I'm gonna come in shape and I'm doing my best." I'm knocking him the. So once I do that and I prove to everybody that I'm in shape and I'm ready to go, I tell Turkey, hey, we're still fighting Brooklyn. I have no doubt with mine. He might want to push that. Just being myself, man. You know, sticking with the jab and hurt him. That's it. Sticking with the jab and hurt him. And no matter what Andy does, man, I got to answer for his.
So August 3rd, we're going to be in LA, and we're going to see my man Jarrell, Big Baby Miller. Big Daddy Miller, I guess I'm going to have to reluctantly say.
We officially changed it yet.
We haven't done it yet because I
I
don't know about it just yet. But we're going against Andy Destroyer Ruiz.
Kilo Taco Bell versus the Big Mac. Let's go.
And I'm telling you, this is the most important fight of your career.
110%.
And I know you say that every next fight's the most important fight of your career. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you do in there versus Andy.
And one thing about me is that once you pick up the pace on me, I pick the pace up on you. And all it takes is 1 or 2 punches to wake me up, and I'm on your. So the main thing is me being able to do anything that I want to do. I don't care what his game plan is. You know what I mean? I know he's not knocking me, so I don't care what he does. The main thing is I want to punish him. I want to beat him into the ground.